Alright, good morning everybody. Vice Forecaster JJ Rapp with you in the Breaking Weather Center. We just have a tornado warning has just got issued. So this runs in effect into around 6:30. We got two tornado warnings has just in place. So we thought we might escape the worst last night, but we had some active weather we had to pass along to you, and maybe this is on the ground. I think, I don't know. Yeah, folks, we got a damaging tornado, so we gotta have to stay with this for a little bit. At 5:53, a confirmed tornado was over Heartland, moving northeast around 35 miles an hour. Hazardous tornado, radar confirmed tornado. So if you're in the path of this, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is a tornado that's on the ground again. So I'll zoom into this a little bit, and we'll put velocity on, and yeah, goodness gracious, gosh. Folks, when you start seeing that red next to green, that's gate to gate sheared. So we could get a possibility of a tornado on the ground right now. So folks, if you don't take this seriously, you could really die. This is dark. You're probably not going to still see this tornado. So this means get centered, get covered, go to the basement, put many walls between you as possible. Put a helmet on just to protect yourself from flying debris. And looks like it could be staying with you for a little longer now. We got another tornado warning. Just got entered for 6:45. So let me check this out. This is north central Gulf County and south central the Braham, Florida, Bay County, and the Braham, Florida. Let's see, Clinton County, Braham, Florida. At 6:05, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located. A line extended from 9 miles northwest of Lyon to Haven to 14 miles southwest of Penalona, the Air Force Base, moving east around 35 miles an hour. What to expect? Tornado. This is a radar indicated tornado. Doesn't mean we have a tornado on the ground right now, but it's something we gotta have to watch and gotta take really seriously. I know we've been dealing with tornadoes in the last couple days, but folks, you gotta take these very seriously. So we'll pull up our velocity. Don't look like have any hail with this. I want to see if we have any debris ball with this storm up here. It's important to check that and see what people know, but we'll change views here. Folks, let's get booked up because we're probably going to stay with you. Just stay with us to 6:45. Yeah, there's a little bit there. If you're in Heartland, you need to be in your tornado safe spot now. Get low, get centered, and get covered now. This is a tornado warning that runs at effect 6:15. So once the damaging one kind of expires, we will keep an eye on these storms. And that's why that severe thunderstorm warning goes in effect about 8 a.m. down here. And that's for gusty winds possibility. And I just want to let you know we do have a new tornado watch has been issued. That goes in effect into around 8 a.m. So we could be dealing with more scattered thunderstorms today. I mean, we do have a moderate risk. We'll see what the outlook's saying a little bit, and that keeps it in moderate not. So I'm going to check the weather service. Bear with me because I'm by myself this morning because this is just a quick thing. Hold on a second. Alright, we do have the moderate risk that goes today. Just so hold tight here. I'm going to share screen and share it back. We'll see if I get this thing to pull back up here. Yep, we got a moderate risk that covers over here in North Carolina area, parts of Florida. The main threat today with this moderate risk is you could get a tornado threat up here by the D.C. area, Jerseyville, beach area. So that Definitely we can see a couple more strong tornadoes today.
Probably just Bluetooth communication issue. There we are. We got it fixed. Yeah, I'm following some radar data. I do want to share. Looks like we do have very tight rotation there, bearing down on Panama City. Got something radar confirmed with that. Again, Panama City. Um, Still, I mean, very broad rotation within this area. I will point out, but still pretty tight
Uh,
area
hey Isaac,
for
are you there?
activity.
Sorry, I didn't
Yes.
hear you a minute ago. Yeah. I'm sorry, I got in too late. I, so yeah, I just caught this and I came on. I thought you might still be in bed.
Oh, I was checking my social media feeds. I know
So
I
if you're
checked
in
my
these
phone,
tornado
but
warnings, folks, you got to take these seriously. I know we've been dealing with this for the last couple of days, but even in this tornado, these radar indicated tornadoes, you're not going to see it. It's dark still, so you got to take this very seriously. And we still are in a moderate risk today, so it's going to be one of those days, but we can still be busy, right, Isaac?
so as at the making of this live stream, it is 6:11 a.m. right now after 6 a.m. So obviously no more high risk. That is out of the way unless that's heading into 12 Zulu. If that hasn't already been reached, obviously that we're the all clear for the folks in the high risk. Obviously, what we're worried about for today,
It's a moderate
still
risk
that
still.
moderate risk. I think they have a smaller area. I will point out that I think we got a slight risk out for this
Yeah, I see that.
complex of storms we're looking at.
And and it's still, we have that tornado risk today, Isaac, all the way
Right
to
now.
about.
So we city that is a very tight area of rotation. I do want to pay attention to this activity up here heading into the Dothan area. This would be in the far southeast corner of Alabama, there east of Dothan. We have another tornado warning cell there. A pretty tight area of rotation with that. At least 50 knots shear with that couplet there, and I will kind of yeah, that tornado warning is getting ready to expire. If that rotation doesn't continue to tighten up, I think they will. The warning there will probably be allowed to expire. But broad area of severe thunderstorm warning. I think mostly on the account of damaging wind with this activity. So still very high low level shear in this environment. It's more broad, but I mean where you
Hmm.
do get that any interaction at the surface, I think that's probably where you will likely end up getting maybe the threat of embedded tornadoes along this area of thunderstorms. And yeah, it's instability. Obviously we're at kind of a lull, but there's still embedded areas where there's much
Tornado
higher
watch
instability.
until 8 a.m. today.
Yeah, I was going to say that the tornado watch. Obviously, this is not a particularly dangerous tornado watch. The ongoing watch we have right now, yeah, this is affecting sections of the Florida Panhandle, into far southeast Alabama, into areas up towards Macon, Georgia, Macon and Columbus, Georgia area. So obviously not for the rest of Georgia right now. But again, it's for this complex of storms. Obviously, that's where the temperatures are still warmer at the ground, where you
Hmm.
have that tornado watch. So that's where you're
Yeah,
likely
this is.
maybe seeing a little bit more interaction there at the surface. But when you get further north, again across like North Georgia, obviously there's not really much of a severe threat up there because the temperatures are fairly cool, very cool up there. I mean, we're
Hmm.
probably talking temperatures in the 50s and 40s. And when you're talking, but
Yeah.
you still got some enhancing with that low level shear,
So,
given that
folks, if you're
upper
in that
that
warning, you should
elite
shelter
short
now.
wave, that negative tilt. Yeah, yeah. Again, I will point out that the most, our biggest severe threat right now, from Panama City up towards east of Fort Rucker, in Dothan area, into the area south, between just along the line from Albany to Macon, Georgia, anywhere in some of these vicinities that we're kind of pointing out here. Always
Mm-hmm.
a good idea. Just we do have a somewhat favorable environment, mostly for damaging winds being the main threat. I think the overall
Severe thunderstorm warning.
load here. Yeah, again, the overall severe threat, I would presume, is transitioning to more of a predominantly damaging wind threat. Probably we'll see some widespread damage, potentially widespread damaging winds being an issue, especially heading well into, parts of Georgia. But also, we're mostly concerned about parts of
Yeah, it's for 60 miles of wind gusts. So I mean, this storm still
South
could spin up a
Carolina.
tornado. We have a
They have
tornado
actually
text.
decreased the. Yeah. Again, that's probably with that severe thunderstorm warning. I am going to point out here.
New
Just
tornado
following up with
warning
what
right
we've been.
now.
Okay, we'll get to that, but they have decreased the wind probabilities with this outlook, and
Okay, I haven't looked at it yet.
they still have the tornado. They still have the 10 and 15 hatched areas, respectively. But again, they have included a small area across the North Carolina, South Carolina coast, and a broader area extending into areas around Raleigh, Columbia, and Charlotte area down towards Savannah. Also, a broader 5% region there. Still an elevated tornado threat, also extending well into West Virginia, East Kentucky, and Southern Ohio, and some of these vicinities as well. So, very broad concern in terms of severe weather, mostly damaging winds and tornadoes. We may see some elevated cells initially, posing a low threat of hail. But yes, we
have a tornado warning right over here.
Tornado warning here.
North Central Henry County in central Alabama, and into 6:45 at 6:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 8 miles southwest of Abbeville, moves around 35. So what to expect? A tornado. So this is a radar indicated tornado right now. We'll pull up velocity, and there's a little bit of rotation there. I mean, this is this red. Anything red next to green is gate to gate. Yeah, folks, this is tight. So you definitely need to be seeking shelter. I know this is early in the morning, but you're not going to see these tornadoes. That could be rain wrapped, right?
Well, yeah, and I do want to point out some of the locations we're getting with this. We do get one of those classic hook signatures on radar. Just seeing all that super cool air with the downdraft, and we got something wrapping with that.
I'll be right back, Isaac.
But again, fairly tight on this location there. But I do want to point out some of the vicinities, the areas around, like areas such as Abbeville, within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Also towards Fort Gaines, Georgia, areas around the Georgia border also remain on alert. Is this at this rate? Definitely, we're looking. Also, I do want to look at the broad severe thunderstorm warning area. Obviously, if anything, we're very broad. We're more broad on this low-level shear here, but still intense signatures. We got definitely some signatures here on velocity that are pretty concerning, especially in terms of what you'll get with the straight line wind threat there. Again, that's east of Dothan. Again, that would be 60 or so miles per hour or greater wind gusts with that complex. But I do want to point out here the situation here in Panama City here. We've been following these past several radar scans. We've had a confirmed report of tornado earlier. Still fairly tight rotation. It might be broadening out a little bit, but it still appears. I do want to see if we do have a signature, because if this was tracking over water as compare that if it tracks over land. If it tracks over land, I mean, there's a lot of tornado and hurricane proof buildings near the like along like let's just say Highway 30A, just some of these vicinities here along the Florida coast. But I mean, there's still like lots of trees and a lot of areas that are prone to tornado damage, and the Panama City area. So it's very helpful. I'm seeing what I can possibly. Nothing I can confirm here in terms of with like tornado debris, but a possible debris signature just right along the Florida coast, south of Panama City, probably around the Panama City beach.
Okay, let me get. Yeah, I see that right there by Lion Haven area. That's where the debris ball's at.
Well, yeah. This would be.
Yeah, folks, we got to take this seriously right now. We got a debris ball right over here. So if you
here,
new tornado warning just got issued. Looks like.
Debris signature.
No, let's see here. Let me see. I think we got a new one. I think runs through 645. Doesn't it? You see that?
I do want to point out probably what we're seeing with this debris signature is we got loose sand. And if it tracks over water, that will lessen the effect of the debris signature. You're not going to get something as distinct. But with that tight rotation factoring in just how the storm has been behaving as it tracks over land,
we're starting to get
really something I would definitely look at.
Yeah, new severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, so you said there was a tornado warning.
Jackson County. Yeah. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County down here in Florida, North Central Gulf County, and Central Florida, and it goes for Bay County to 845. This storm is capable of producing 60 miles of wind gust. So, folks, this is some very once you get these winds, even straight line winds are going to be bad as a tornado. So, still, we're going on with severe weather. We thought we escaped the worst last night, but see, it's continuing to come on. We could see severe weather going into the Carolinas today, so we're not done.
Yeah, I have plenty of friends actually in North Carolina. I will.
I didn't know that, Isaac.
Definitely talk about that. But yes, from what I've been following on radar, first off here, folks in Panama City here. I mean, right now they don't have this in observed status, so nothing confirmed as a tornado, but still very possible. You got still some fairly tight. I think more on the.
All right, no hail with these because I think we're a little.
Looks like it's broadening out. Looks like it's a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna say we still got what? Yeah, I was gonna say you got the signature there. We got a little bit of an updraft on the. You can see that on the rear flank of the storm further along off there. But yeah, I do want to touch on what we got going on now. Just overall, mostly a damaging wind concern for sections of the Florida Panhandle, southeast Alabama, maybe a little bit of southwest Georgia. But I mean, we're also paying close attention to the impending severe risk extending into central and east parts of the Carolinas. That's where they've had highlighted. They initially had it at 45 hatched on the wind. That they have decreased probabilities. It is no longer hatched actually on the wind on the account of damaging wind. I think instability slightly on the up, a little bit trending upward.
Yeah, I can see that happening too.
A little bit more possibility of maybe one or two of those strong tornadoes. Yeah, I was going to say, but I think what we're mostly concerned about. Not really much in terms of the intense Boeing segments, but I mean, you'll still see a fairly broad area, still numerous widespread reports of wind damage potentially over these areas. But also, I think they still have that 10 and 15 hatched areas respectively. Still hatched potential, slight potential for maybe a stronger tornado that could be 2 or greater. The Storm Prediction Center's highlight.
Yeah, but that's still strong, though.
Yeah, but again, they've also the moderate risk. They have it's not as large. They have the size of the moderate risk area. It's now we're mostly talking about a smaller moderate risk area. It used to be very broad, extending well into areas such as Charlotte and Columbia. Even including the city of Raleigh initially. But now we're just talking about maybe a 12,000 square miles. It used to be like 30,000, 30,000 square miles. Now we're down to 12,000 square miles. Still including about 1.5 million people from areas
Wow.
such as Wilmington, Jacksonville, Myrtle Beach. So that's where they have highlighted the greatest threat there, but also still at enhanced here for 60,000 square miles, about 7 million people, including Raleigh, Savannah, and Columbia, Fayetteville areas. And Durham as well. So, but yeah, that's where they have highlighted the outlook, mostly for damaging winds, maybe embedded potential for stronger, again, I do want to point out tornadoes are small, but the number of
Get back.
tornadoes you'll see probably greater. So while the tornadoes are smaller, the number of tornadoes you see today will probably be a little bit greater, but also maybe accounting for maybe a few instances where you could get some significant tornado reports, but hopefully not in majority like urban areas. And again, we didn't dodge too much of a bullet yesterday, despite there being a high risk. Just at overviewing the data, I mean, we've had more than I don't know, probably they have to survey, so nothing official yet in terms of ratings on these tornadoes. So nothing, we can't confirm anything in terms of like enhanced Fujita scale, but from what I've been seeing, following the storm prediction center, some of the reports on there, we've definitely seen lots of reports of major structural damage to homes. I've heard a few unofficial reports, actually nothing directly from the National Weather Service, but I've heard some reports. There have been some homes that have been almost swept off. I mean, like completely destroyed. I mean, there have been plenty of reports of homes being completely destroyed. Yes, but like I mean, when you get like I can't confirm where this happened. This is just spotter chit chat that I've been listening to. I mean, just want to point out, like, it would not surprise me if you get like major
New severe
structural damage
thunderstorm.
with some of these intense tornadoes. I mean, we could have gotten well into like some of these tornadoes we probably saw like were over EF2 strength. So I mean, obviously nothing officially rated. We probably would have saw a couple EF3s, maybe even an EF4. You never know, but nothing that has been officially rated. However, again, just pointing out with the overall threat extending into eastern parts of the Carolinas, I think we have a slight upward trend in the surface capes. Just saying, pretty slight at the least. If they decided to continue add on to their hatch line, I think that would mostly be across some of these coastal vicinities and the sections of the Carolinas where they have that 15 hatch area. Let's see what else they got. In terms of
We still got a severe thunderstorm warning placed about 8:45 for down here, and this line is starting to bow out a little bit. When you get these little bows like this, you get some straight line winds. That's how you get the spin up tornadoes. And this one really could go under a tornado warning, Isaac, because it looks like it has a little bit of a red next to green there up here. I don't know if you're noticing this or not on your radar, because it's starting to tie it up a little bit more with the green color.
If you're
Hold on a
referring
second,
to
Isaac.
the severe east of Dothan, south of Blakely,
Hold on. Hold on a second.
like which warning are you referring to? Because in a lot of the severe warnings, I mean, we just have a couple right now. So this is mostly just broad low-level shear. I don't see anything tightening necessarily outside of the tornado warnings, but still, I mean, been following on radar closely a few of these tornado warned cells. This one near Bilge appears to be
that's severe
slightly weak.
thunderstorm.
Still a little bit for two different tornado warnings near. I do want to focus between Tyndall Air Force Base and Mexico City Beach, Mexico Beach rather area. Still appears to be some tight, a little bit tight on the rotation there, about 40 knots shear. So still has been that has been concise, that rotation as it is tracked through these areas, and I think, that is actually a separate couplet, the one that tracked through Panama City. If I put my end in motion here, that rotation has been fairly tight tracking through Panama City, but we have another couplet that I am mostly on radar here, south of Tyndall Air Force Base. Looks like a broader area of rotation. New scan. Looks like it's mostly broad shear, so if anything, probably wind threat with that. Pretty intense damaging winds, even aside of the threat of a tornado. Again, highly substantial in terms of I mean, nothing odd to me or clear to us that there is a tornado in progress, but possible tornado has tracked through Panama City just several moments ago. We will be awaiting some damage reports and just see what data we get. We'll continue to pass along damage reports and keep an eye on things as in the evolution of timing of storms as they track into parts of the Carolinas. What I'm particularly concerned about, obviously, a much smaller moderate risk area. So I think confidence in seeing more significant and widespread reports of damaging winds slightly on the decrease. I think they have a more concentrated area where I think you may see some of those more intense blowing segments where you get maybe some significant reports of wind damage, but still possibility just along the leading edge of that that line of storms this afternoon over central and eastern parts of the Carolinas. I think that's where you got your primed environment. Still very good low-level shear with that. And, I think surface instability is maybe on a slight upward trend. I still got to see what the latest high-res data shows this morning, but I think
new tornado warning to 8:15.
15 hatch. Yeah, so still a very decent threat of tornadoes here heading into the afternoon over sections of the central and eastern parts of the Carolinas. We'll be following that close. But yes, JD, I am going to pass it over to you. I know you have.
Yeah, you want to join us this afternoon?
I have to check my other social media feeds, so I'm going to jump off here. I plan on some more coordinated feed here heading into the afternoon.
Thank you for helping me out a little bit this morning. Isaac been with me for a little bit this morning, folks. We've been tracking this tornado warning that runs in effect. We got a tornado warning that goes in effect into around 7:40 at 8 a.m. at 7 Eastern time. A severe thunderstorm was located along the line was located near Heartland and near Cottonwood, moving around 20 miles. So hazard. 60 miles of wind gusts with the storm. But the storm is giving me a little type of Becky area and Luke area. This area showed me signs of some pretty decent rotation with this storm. So once we get rotation like that, tightened up like that, that's where you get pretty decent sheared. And that's where that tornado wind goes in effect over here into 8:15 over here in the Florida and the Georgia area. So definitely get centered, get covered this morning. Make sure you put many walls between you as possible. We got a tornado warning that goes into effect into 6:45, and this one here is giving the signs of some pretty decent rotation also too. So we got one report just coming in about 40 miles at gusk reported. And this is a large severe thunderstorm warning, and we could see a couple more strong tornadoes today. So you're in Jackson County under a severe thunderstorm warning down here in Florida. This goes through in effect into 8:45 or 7:45 Central Time. This storm is capable of producing up to 60 miles of wind. And I'd love to see what the profile of the winds are going to do with this. And yeah, goodness gracious, gosh. Starting to see winds blowing. And folks, we've been having tornado damage for the nighttime hours. Just getting more reports coming in. I'm going to pass this along to you. We had a report of a 60-mile knot, well, 64 miles knot to 74 mile knot to 84 miles of wind. So, folks, when you start seeing 80, this could be a tornado. So, folks, you got to take these storms very seriously. Today, and we'll zoom down here to this tornado warning. If you're in Vicksburg area, you're under a severe tornado warning. New severe thunderstorm warning has been in place. This goes in effect. I think the new one will switch back to regular radar. This goes in effect into around 7:45. This is just a radar indicated tornado. A severe thunderstorm, and it's continuing to march through here. So, no confirmed report of a tornado on the ground right now, but that's the good news. But the bad news, we've got rotation to show you. And I'll pick our tools that we use here just in case we have any debris here. And in a few seconds, I want to send things back. I know we've been having tornado warnings since this morning. And this is since 5 a.m. this morning. We had a couple severe, and this is what's been blowing up to a couple tornado warnings. But really, I don't know how you might have jumped on so far to look at things, but if you're in the Becky area, you need to seek shelter. You're under a tornado warning, and this is very tight rotation by loop area. That is very tight. So folks, we could be getting a possible tornado with the storm. And like I said, me and Isaac have been tracking this since 6 o'clock this morning. He jumped on with me, and we've been tracking the storm. And that's a possibility of some pretty decent rotation right there. The Becky area. So if you're near that area, you need to seek shelter. Put air mattress between you and a baseball helmet on. That'll protect yourself from flying debris. And folks, what we'll do is I'm going to follow up with this in a few seconds. Checking for hail, and there's a little bit of hail with this. Just in the yellow colors, we'll have to watch that. This storm could produce a weak tornado. I got a couple things I'm going to have to do in a second. So right now, we just got 3 tornado warnings. If we get a few more numbers of tornadoes on the ground, we'll be back with you this morning, and we'll keep you informed. Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you. We'll break back in if we need to.